Good evening. Tonight, I will discuss about does China as belong in the multilingual society. So, there are different varieties in China upon having English, such as Cantonese English, Chinese Pidgin English, and Chinglish, as well as China English. In the China English is an objective reality that is of English variety in China. In China, China English needs to be integrated into English as a language teaching because it is the best English career for the Chinese culture and helps uh, close the gap in cultural exchange between China and the West. Uh, and now we'll talk about the China English, in which the China English is not extremely strict. One phrase should be noted, which based in the standard English. English variations that can be utilized globally must have a core. This foundation is where English as an international language also begins. Its core must retain intact, else the variety is undesirable. Similar to the varieties we discussed earlier, they are not based on the British English, even though they are the localization of English in China. The majority of people do not accept this English since it is distorted and jumbled. So those varieties of China is the Qing English and Pidgin, and also the Cantonese. The development of China English is mostly as a result of cultural gaps in English-Chinese cultural exchanges. There are always certain Chinese words that do not exist in the English. In the English language, and we actually need China English to communicate with one another when introducing foreigners to Chinese distinctive culture or distinctive goods, and also in trading and businesses. China English has the worth and the importance of its existence since it is an objective reality. So first of all, it encourages communication between China and the West. As was already mentioned, the emergence of China English bridges the cultural gap between Chinese and Western societies, facilitating communication between China and the West. Additionally, it promotes the spread of Chinese culture, also tradition, even if there are already a lot of Chinese loanwords in English, they are now a done deal because of China's rising international stature. Thirdly, it improves also the quality of English content, also in in China English. Chinese and English differ greatly from one another since they come from distinct linguistic families. When students who are native Mandarin, Chinese are learning English because poses a significant problem. Chinese sentence delivery, which heavily relies on tones and determines meaning rather than syntax. Because, as you've observed, And when you meet a Chinese person, she or he uses a lot of tones, like four tones. They have rising intonation, falling intonation, and like curve. It's like a curve intonation from up to down and up, and the other one I mean is from down up to down. And having Chinese English, they don't use articles. So the alphabet, grammar, and pronunciation are the three most important areas of distinction that Chinese students must acquire. Standard English is the foundation of Chinese English, which also expresses Chinese culture and contains Chinese traits in lexis, sentence structure, and especially discourse. Yet, China English does not exhibit any of the grammatical misuse that we have observed in Chinese English, like because they are the standard English in Chinese. So, as a result, you should be aware that four tones that they use in their pronunciation should be understood when speaking English in China. Hence, exercise caution when trying to communicate with a native Mandarin speaker because it might be have a different meaning in if you misuse the tones. Hence, exercise caution when trying to communicate with a native speaker of Mandarin. So here comes the question. Why is learning the Mandarin language so challenging for me? Because it is a tonal language, that's the first. And the second is their original writing system uses characters rather than alphabet. And I am so slow in identifying characters. They didn't use alphabet symbols like in English. And the third one, I am confused in using the strokes. But it is a positive fact that the character itself delivers the word also in using the character rather than the alphabet symbol. And in addition to the information I've said, the advent of China English broadens the English language's expression as well as its vocabulary, that there are many new words available nowadays, especially in terms of vocabulary. Last but not least, it facilitates the translation done by the translator. If China English is absent, the translator may not be able to translate a sentence accurately when it has Chinese elements. And that's all. Thank you.